Hi guys, it's Misty. Welcome back to my channel. I have a new card to share for a new challenge this week at Always Fun Challenges. The theme is cats or dogs, or cats and dogs, and I chose to do a card using cats. This cat is from the My Favorite Things I Need You stamp set, and there's also a dog set that's called You Make My Tail Wag, which is absolutely adorable. If you would like to see what I made for last week's challenge, go ahead and click in the card in the upper right hand corner. And as always, I'll put a link to all the products I used in the description below. Whatever doesn't fit down there, I'll have a full list over on my blog. And don't forget, if you're running short on time like I always am, you can speed up this video by clicking on, there should be a settings, like a gear icon or three little dots on your screen, and you go down to the speed and you could bump it up to 1 1/4, 1 1/2, or 2 times the normal speed. So love that feature. All right, I'm using the Wide Stripes background stamp by Simon Says Stamp. And I'm going to stamp this out 3 times just to get a nice solid image and to darken it up just a little bit. I'm using the Fog ink by Simon Says Stamp. I stamped the cats out on the Copic Express It blending paper, and then I cut them out with my brother's Scan and Cut. So I don't have the matching die for that one. And I cut it out of the video, but I actually used some removable tape on the back of that just to get it off of, I didn't want it right up against the edges of my stamping platform. Stamp platform? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I'm using the Mama Elephant All Prettied Up die set. I use this die set quite often, actually. It's really great for shaker cards, and I almost made a shaker card out of this, but I just loved that light gray striped background, so I didn't want to take away from that. I'm just going to cut my card front out of some Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock, which is pretty much all I ever use these days. For the box, I used the Neenah Desert Storm, I think it's a 100-pound cardstock. I love this fog color. It's a really, I don't know. Every time I look at this card, that's what I go back to, is how much I love that fog color. I have the fog cardstock too. It's just a really pretty kind of soft neutral color. And gray always looks good on stripes. So I'm using the CZ Designs stamp set that's called Hello You, and I'm using the matching die to go with that. Just using some white superfine embossing powder and some pretty pink paper. I'm going to heat it up from the front and the back to try to eliminate the warping. Doesn't always work, but most of the time it does. Seems like if the thicker the paper is, the less it works. But this is pretty thin paper. So I'm just going to use the matching die to cut out the hello. This is a really fun stamp set. I had a hard time deciding which sentiment to use because they were all pretty great. I'm going to quickly just color my cat. I'll list the Copics above. And I know you're not going to see the whole cat. You're only going to see his head. But I just couldn't leave it uncolored. I don't know why. It was a waste of time. I know, but I had to color her. I'm really loving this color combo. I've used the same 3 colors usually, or 4 colors, when I color orange tabbies, but I added the YR20 to this one, and I really liked it. Just because I kind of wanted the mouth area and a little bit of the belly to be a little bit lighter than the rest of it. So I'm not going to color the tail. I knew that was being cut off, so. I know, isn't that weird? I had to color the rest of the cat, but it was okay to leave the tail uncolored. I don't know what's wrong with me sometimes. All right, and I'm going to use the Nuvo, what is it? the Luxe Adhesive Clear Drying Craft Glue. I wanted, oh yes, here I gotta butcher the poor cat's tail. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. All right, well, I'm just gonna quickly stamp the sentiment. Maybe it'll come back to me. Using Memento Tuxedo black ink. Love it. Hello, you sexy beast. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I wanted to pop the box up. I don't know if it's supposed to pop up, but right there in the center of the box, it has, it's like a stitch there. So it made me think that it was supposed to bend there. And I wanted it to give it some dimension anyway. So I had some really thin strips of foam adhesive here. So I doubled it up and put it right on the underside of that stitch part in the center. Oh my gosh, I save way too much. Okay, maybe you guys do it too. I save even my little scraps of this foam adhesive and put it back on the little tape reel there. Do you guys do that too? Or, I mean, I save every little piece because you never know what size you're going to need. Wondering if I'm the only one that does that. The last minute, I decided I wanted to use some craft foam to pop it up. And I could have used the die set again, but it was just much easier to pencil it out and cut it out because nobody's going to see it anyway. As always, I'm using the score tape on the back of my craft foam. That is my go-to adhesive for when I use craft foam or fun foam. I use the 1/8 of an inch sometimes too. I just happen to use the 1/4 inch this time. And then since I'm popping the whole card front up on the craft foam, I also have to pop up my little cat in a box. Look how cute that cat is. I love it. And then I'm just going to use another piece of the score tape on the back of my cat. I know, look at that. What a waste to color that, but I did it anyways. Then I'm just trying to center the cat. I didn't want it to be off-centered, and I have a hard time centering things sometimes, so it took me a minute to get that done. I thought about putting a little heart or something in the cat's paws, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It just didn't really go with the sentiment, I didn't think. It's not a cutesy. I don't know. The whole card is cutesy, so I guess I could have, but I didn't. And as you can see, I cut out a couple different bows because I wanted, I don't know, I just couldn't find a color that I liked. And in the end, I ended up using the same color as the hello, but I was trying all different colors. I used the Spectrum Noir glitter pen to add some sparkle to my bow. And then to top that off, I used some glossy accents. Okay, so if you guys have problems with your clog-free tips for your glues or glossy accents, it's especially bad for me for glossy accents. They always clog no matter what. I've tried squeezing them after I'm done using them and getting all the glue out, but no matter what, they're always clogged when I go to use them again. Well, I saw Corinne Wiskman using a syringe. I think this is such a brilliant idea on her YouTube channel. And so I tried it, and she actually sells them in her Etsy shop now. So I'll put a link to her shop in the description below. It works beautifully. It's, there's so far it hasn't clogged on me. It's easy to control, and it's about time. I've wasted so much money on these clog-free tips that just never end up working. So I think it's a brilliant idea. And she sells them all ready to go in her shop. The needles, the syringes usually have long tips, but she cuts them off and sells them in her shop ready to go. So if you want an actual clog-free tip for your glues, which you do if you're a card maker, then check out her Etsy shop. All right, to finish this off, I'm just going to add some sequins. And that's it. That is my card for this week. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the like button. If this is your first time here, I'd love to have you subscribe. I post new videos about once a week. And that's it. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.